Hi everyone, today I want to give you an insider look on an amazing project we shot, including acrobats, martial arts, fire and water, lots of water. In this lecture, I will take you through the process of putting a project together from conception to completion, including how we built a rain rig, the test shoot we did to make sure we will be running smoothly on shooting day, our choice of gear, art and colors. My name is Udi Tirosh and I'm the CEO of Spiffy Gear, a lighting company that makes lighting easier by providing innovative lighting solutions to cinematographers worldwide. A few months back, I was talking with a cinematographer friend, Ed and Ram, about how water and slow motion can really bring out movement. We may or may not have been inspired by an old Atomos promo showing martial artists fighting in the rain. We thought it was a cool idea and kinda talked about what it would take to create a video celebrating human movement. We knew that rain and slow motion mixed well, but we wanted to add more elements to really celebrate the artists we're bringing into the project. We decided that each artist will get a shape to represent their style of art. And we decided to create those shapes out of light. And with some backlight in the process, backlight and rain work really well together. We did a total of 3 shoots, 2 tests and a full set. The shoots got bigger and bigger as we progressed with more gear, more crew and higher stakes. After each shoot, we sat together and debriefed to learn what went well, what we can do better and what was missing to make this a perfect shoot. I'm going to share all those lessons with you as we go from tabletop to small shoot to a huge set with over 11 crew and 10 talents. Our first step was to kinda test the water of a rain shoot, pun intended. We decided to go with a small tabletop shoot and do a fire and rain mashup. One objective was to test a low-profile rain rig, and the other was to test lighting and camera settings. So we started with a tabletop, shooting a small bag under fire and water. We learned a lot. So for this test shoot we went all in. We built a basic rain rig by punching holes in a hose. We had a slider set up and we filled a spray bottle with lamp oil to create the fire effects. We shot with a small Sony RX100 which delivers an amazing 1000 FPS. We lit the shot with a few specular kits. The first take from this shoot was that we need to better protect the camera, either by giving it a roof or by putting it in safe distance from the rain rig. The other thing, which we kinda knew but did not pay enough attention to, is that balancing fire with water at high FPS needs a lot of light. 1000 FPS means that each frame is shot at 1/2000th of a second. I guess there is a reason that similar shoots use really strong lights. We decided to set on 240 FPS. With the information from that first shoot, we moved on to a bigger test. For this test, we got some talent from a local fitness studio and we brought Ed and Ram, our DP, to the set. We built a bigger rain machine, this time using sprinklers to control the direction of the rain, and we started testing the lighting fixtures behind our talents. Now I want to pause for a second on the technical stuff and talk a little bit about the team. On a passion shoot like this, where a talent is paid by either footage or learning skills, there are 2 critical missions to get a successful shoot. Everyone should know what they're supposed to do, and you must keep the crew and cast happy. Let's talk about those 2 ideas for a second. What does it mean that everybody knows what they're supposed to do? It means that when everyone arrives, you do a quick chat explaining what is going to happen and the general schedule, and you go over safety rules. We had both water and live power on set, as well as a high backdrop and a rain rig. Then you assign team leaders to every aspect of the shoot and delegate tasks. For example, one team is building the set, one is setting up the lights, and so on and so forth. How do you keep the team happy? The first thing is to give the team a sense of safety. That you're not going to do anything stupid and that you know what you're doing. And you should know what you're doing. You also want to let them know that you care for them. Provide clean, heated rooms to change clothes, plenty of towels, and keep communications very open. I also assigned 2 people and introduced them to the team as wolves. Everybody knew that whatever problem they had, they could talk to a wolf, and the wolf will solve the problem. This also took some of the pressure off me and allowed me to focus on the production. It goes without saying, but food, drinks and coffee are a given. You want the crew to know that you care, but even more important, you want them to stay energized. Here are some shots from our second test. Our plan was to cover the lights with saran wrap. What we learned in this test is that saran wrap shows in the final footage, and that we'd better plan to keep the practical lights away from the rain instead. This way the lights won't get wet, but also they will look nice. We also learned that we need to better understand how to make the best use of our lights. And we decided to model the scene in 3D. We used a software called Satellite to place our main lights, practicals and talents, to find the best spots for the lights, as well as the number of lights we'd need. We also used this model to pre-visualize what the scene would look like with a bunch of specular lights and gels. We used speculars because they can be configured as practicals, but also because they don't flicker with high frame rates. Speaking of frame rates, we realized that the internal 8 seconds buffer on the FS5 is worse than we thought. It was a total flow killer, as we needed to sync each shot with the precise movement of the talent or we'd miss the buffer. This is where Atomos comes in. We decided to use an external recorder for the final shoot and went with the Shogun Inferno, which provides continuous recording at 240 FPS. We also saw the need for a client monitor, and for the lack of a big Sumo, we went with a tiny Ninja 5. We looped it via the HDMI pass-through and got a second monitor up a little further away from the action. Now, after 2 practice runs, we were ready. We brainstormed about the specific talents that would be best for this set. Capoeira and martial arts were the obvious choices, but we also approached a hip-hop dancer, a fire artist, a skater, and some movement artists. While we got all the tech stuff right after the second test, we still wanted to make some changes to the art. You'll see that we mostly went with bigger light structures, so they are more prominent in the frame. We also doubled our rain rig to get 2 layers of rain. Here's what we came up with. We added a stills photographer to take still shots during the shoot, but also to provide some BTS coverage. Let me quickly recap what I think are the crucial steps when approaching a large-scale project like this. Eden and I started with a strong vision. That's what drove this entire project and dictated the art, gear, and talent. Get the top talent and keep them happy. Use your network to approach the right people, and if they're not in your network, reach out. On shooting day, keep your team happy. Keep them safe, warm, and well-fed. Test before you go live. Test again and again and again if you need to. Have as many runs as you need to make sure that when you shoot the real deal, you'll have no hiccups. Identify critical gear. For us, it was the Shogun Inferno that allowed us to record continuous 240 and the specular lights, which are flicker-free at high frame rates. But above all, get a good team that you can trust. A good team will build on your vision, bringing their own qualities to the game, and make sure that the day runs smoothly. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again in other lessons. I'm Udi Tirosh from Spiffy Gear, and I hope to see you again.